There was a time in my life when silence was a friend. A place I could retreat to when the world became too loud. In the quiet, I found peace, solitude, clarity. But that all changed on an ordinary morning that I will never forget. It started as a whisper, a high-pitched tone that came from nowhere. I looked around, confused. Checked my phone. The power lines. The room. But everything was still. Everything, except the sound. At first, I ignored it. Told myself it was nothing. Just stress, maybe. A fleeting sensation. But the sound didn't leave. In fact, it grew stronger. It followed me through my days, into work meetings, dinners with friends, walks in the park. It echoed at night, keeping me awake while the rest of the world slept peacefully. I began to panic. I saw doctors, specialists, had tests, scans, exams. The word they gave me was tinnitus. A harmless condition, they said. Just a symptom. No cure. I remember sitting in that cold, white room, hearing those words, "You'll have to learn to live with it." That was the moment the world went quiet, even as the sound screamed louder inside my head. I fell into a spiral. Days bled into nights. I stopped laughing. Stopped dreaming. I couldn't focus. I couldn't think. The things that once brought me joy, music, nature, silence, became unbearable. I felt alone. Misunderstood. Trapped in a body that betrayed me. I tried everything. Pills. Eardrops. Strange machines and noise generators. I spent hours online, reading forums, chasing cures. But nothing worked. And the more I fought the sound, the stronger it seemed to become. Then one morning, after yet another sleepless night, I stood in the mirror and looked into my own eyes. What I saw was someone I no longer recognized, tired, fragile, broken. And something inside me whispered, there must be another way. I stopped running. I stopped fighting. And for the first time, I sat down in silence, not to escape the sound, but to listen to it. That was the beginning of my healing. I learned to breathe deeply, to calm my nervous system. I found meditations that helped me soften the fear. I began journaling my thoughts, releasing the storm inside. I cleaned up my diet, less caffeine, less alcohol, more whole foods, more water. I started walking in nature, moving my body, sleeping with gentle soundscapes that soothed rather than masked the ringing. I realized my body was not my enemy. It was my ally. And all it had ever needed was for me to listen. And slowly, so slowly I barely noticed it, the sound began to shift. It didn't disappear. But it no longer controlled me. It no longer filled me with dread. Instead of resisting the sound, I began to work with it. I practiced acceptance, not surrender. I reconnected with joy. I laughed again. I played music again. I looked up at the stars without fear of the night. Today, I still live with tinnitus. But I also live with peace. With purpose. With power. Healing wasn't a miracle. It was a process. A journey inward. And what I found there was far greater than silence. I found myself. If you're living with tinnitus, know this, you are not alone. You are not broken. Your body is not your enemy. You are on a path. And every step, every breath, is a step toward healing. Let the sound become your teacher. Let your body become your guide. And above all, never give up on yourself. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to keep guessing. This course gives you the map. All you have to do is follow it. Thousands have already started their journey with us. Some have completely silenced their tinnitus. Others have finally found peace after years of struggle. And now, it's your turn. Click the link below, join the course, and take that first real step toward full healing. Because yes, healing is possible. And this is where it begins. Log on to www.tinnitusheals.com.